and welcome back to the Always Be Building show. I am Stephen Chalmers, joined as always by my partner in crime on the right side of the screen, Mr. Ryan O'Dell. Delly, say what's up to the people.
What's up, people? For the record, this is take 2 for anybody that witnessed the crash. I've never actually seen a crash happen like as I'm speaking. I was so frazzled I didn't even know what to do. But nonetheless, we're back again. For those that missed the first time around, typically we're just strictly Dynasty guys, but we definitely get down with the college guys as well. And anytime we're given the opportunity to talk about them, we're going to take that too. So tonight, it's a little bit early, maybe, if you want to say so. Not for us. We're talking 2025 rookie running backs, who me and Steve both think can make a huge impact on your fantasy roster. And hopefully we can convince you tonight, hold on to those 25 picks. If you tried them already, try to sneak back in, go acquire more. This is a first round next year that thinks you're going to be able to cash in no matter what. But tonight, we're talking strictly running backs.
Yeah, as always, love to talk about the Dynasty Football Factory. We appreciate the platform you guys give us. We come on here and talk about football with everybody every single day. It's great. We love it. So with that being said, there is a membership that you guys may not know about. So this is where my opportunity to talk about that. It is $19.99 yearly. Comes out about $1.67 a month. If you pay monthly, it's about $4.99. Have access to all our articles, our rankings, all our content. You get to join us on the Discord. Discord content includes redraft, best ball, Devy, Dynasty, DFS, and IDP. And we had trade value talks where we talk about trades all the time. Just football addicts having fun, man. That's all it is. We love it. We appreciate all you guys. We appreciate the DFF crew. Thank you guys very much for allowing us to do what we do. So, running backs. The 2025 class is extremely special. I truly believe there are 10 deep running backs that can make an impact in this class. Not saying it's all going to happen here.
Right.
Realistically, could be significantly less than that, but there are 10 running backs that truly stand out to me as pieces that I want to own in Dynasty. With that being said, if you do not have your 2025 draft picks, go acquire them. Go get them. You are going to get some of these players that we're going to talk about later on in the second round of your draft. You just are. There's not enough spots to go. With that being said, if you have your pick, do not trade it, especially if you're running back needy. This class is going to change the landscape of the running back position, which is extremely messy at this current moment. There's only 6 running backs that Ryan and I truly feel comfortable owning as a key piece on our Dynasty rosters. Those being Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, and Travis Etienne. Outside of that, the running back landscape is very messy.
Yeah. Outside of that, you're looking at guys that have flaws one way or the other, whether it be age for Dynasty or a decent backup that's here to take touches, or guys that just didn't really pan out the way you wanted them to. Happens far too often nowadays.
Yeah, it's very scary.
Yeah.
It's a position that I hold near and dear to my heart. I believe it's actually a league-winning position. Hasn't been treated as such in a couple of years, but I'm glad we're finally back to this. So without further ado, let's jump into this 2025 draft class. Our running back 1, Mr. Quinshawn Judkins. And before our internet crashed, Ryan was talking him up a little bit. So go ahead, Ryan.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Nonetheless, came into the SEC at 19 years old and overtook a backfield that was completely owned by Zach Evans going into the season. Nobody really expected Quinshawn Judkins to do what he did. I mean, you come out in the SEC competition, we're talking Alabama, Georgia, LSU. I mean, just dominant schools while still averaging 5.7 yards per catch. Over 1,500 yards and 16 scores his freshman year alone. That's absolutely insane. Kid has so much to bring to the table. He doesn't have many flaws, to be honest with you. So let's sit here and talk about all the great things. That's what we're here to do anyway, right?
Yeah. So the biggest thing that I noticed at Ole Miss, he was never too small for the moment. The moment never was too big for him. He truly lit up every game he played in. SEC competition, we always say SEC lights shine brightest, especially down there in the Bible Belt. Defenses are monsters.
Yeah.
Best game to note, I remember his 214-yard game against Arkansas. Absolute monster of a game. Averaged over 10 yards per carry. And he even added in 5 catches for 45 yards. Something that doesn't really scream out about his profile is his receiving game. He's the best pure rusher in college football. He's the best pure rusher we're going to talk about in this class. But the receiving game was nice to see as well. Over the 2 years at Ole Miss, I forget he's playing for Ohio State now. Welcome to the Big Ten. Yeah. So his first 2 years at Ole Miss, it was really cool. Led the whole nation in rushing with over 2,200 rushing yards, almost 2,300, over 1,800 yards after contact, and 154 missed tackles forced.
Dog.
If that number doesn't stand out to you, he forced more missed tackles as a true freshman than Bijan Robinson did in 2022.
You ain't wrong. I mean, I think like really what separates him in the field, stands out most between these guys is his elite vision at the line of scrimmage. The ability to run with blockers and have the patience behind him. And then when it's time to cut out and go do what he needs to do, you love to see it. It's kind of a rare thing, especially what he's doing now at his age. I mean, he had what you can, I guess, say a down year, his sophomore year, but kid still looks electric out there. Yeah.
He's the most electric rusher in the NCAA. All of it, whether it be Power 5, Group 5, however you want to display the running backs. He's the most pure rusher we have in college football. Like I said, I know the receiving game doesn't stand out as a positive. He has a mixed bag with it. He's not great. He's average. Let's call it average. But when you're looking at the profile, typical size, stands at a 6 foot, about 220. He's a monster of a dude. He's a monster. And with the overall vision you talk about, I like to bring in the patience.
Right.
Ole Miss actually sports a top 25 PFF overall run grade line. They allowed him to show his vision. He allowed for the blockers to get where they needed to be, to set his blocks, to set up and go. He didn't have to make a decision quick and go. He was able to see the field at a slower pace than most running backs get to see it. Yeah. And it really helped his game. Was very impressed with his vision behind the line of scrimmage. Right. It was beautiful. On top of that, we're talking about his size, his vision, his strength. There is no way you are going to tackle this man at the line of scrimmage with a one-arm tackle. It's not happening. He has some of the best strength and contact balance you will ever see for a running back. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, he's a great runner. I have not a single bad thing to say about Quinshon Judkins, other than maybe pass blocking. But I mean, I think he can get away with in other areas to be a force in the NFL. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. He's huge, man. I mean, we just had Bijan Robinson come out, but I think he's up there. I'm not saying he's Bijan, but
I think when you break it down as a pure runner, as a pure runner, you're on the same level. You're on the same level as Saquon Barkley. You're on the same level as those guys, Zeke, Todd Gurley. We've seen a lot of monster running backs. Like I said, the receiving profile being limited kind of hurts him to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But I think that can change. If he's one of those guys that's going to get you, 30, 35 catches, okay, that's not terrible. We're not pushing Alvin Kamara numbers. I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking for Austin Eckler type receiving profile. I'm just asking to make a contribution. So, and the things that I noticed in his game, like we said, not all prospects are perfect. Their profiles have red flags. Let's be honest. So when I look at Quinshon Judkins, his 40 time, he's going to be a 4.4 guy, maybe closer to the low end 4.4s. He doesn't have that top end speed. The top end speed to beat the DB at the second level. He doesn't have that home run ball. He's not a home run threat in certain areas. He's not a Devon A-Chain. He's not a CJ2K. He's not one of those guys that can just bounce it outside and take it up. So that would be, I guess, a red flag in my eyes. But he's a guy that's gonna beat you down with volume.
Yeah.
He has ways to cope around that. He's going to beat you down with volume. He's going to beat you down with patience, his vision. He's a nasty, nasty one-cut jump go guy. It's crazy. I've never seen anybody move like that at 220. He moves very well.
He's got an insane juke move. Let's be honest. On top of all that. That being said, you want to hit some tape up?
Yeah, lastly, I'd like to bring up the pass blocking. That is another issue in his game for me. When you as a coveted piece, if you're going to be on the field for all 3 downs, you have to be able to protect your quarterback. You have to protect him at all times. You have to be able to see the blitz breakdown and pickups and things like that. So that's one thing that I will say about the Quinshon Judkins that does need to get better.
Yeah. Previously said that like 5 minutes ago, but go off, King.
Hey, man. It's just things that I'm here for, man.
I mean, nobody's perfect. I did say we weren't going to talk about the bad things, but all right, that's fine.
You got to talk about the bad things.
That's fair.
So as I prepare the tape, we got a couple of clips for you guys that we would love for you to see. With that being said, I need to stream and share. Clips always show and break it down how we want to break it down. You let us see what we see. So we have some clips in our message thread here. Let me go ahead and pull it up. So if you'll notice, this play right here, ball's at the line of scrimmage, you're 3rd and 6. You're facing the best team in Athens. And here we go, 3rd and 6. You see where the first down marker is. It's going to be a toss to the outside to Quinshon Judkins. Just watch his power, watch his blend of speed and his burst and his contact balance. He will not be denied for this first down. And let's get it. You 1, 2, 3, and boom. Yeah, and he drugged his defender. And he drugged the 3rd defender for 2 yards for the first down.
Yeah. The important thing on that is he absolutely beat the edge. The only 2 blockers he had were receivers. He had no offensive line help on that play and still managed to get the first down.
Yep.
So
the last tape I'm going to show you here. Just look at how he presents himself here. It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful play here. Let me pull it up.
Be prepared, brother. What are we doing?
You can't do it. You can't pull up these. Let me pull it. Here it is. Here we go. We're good. And this is a beautiful play here against Texas A&M. Beautiful, beautiful run. I'm just going to let you guys watch it. And there we go.
Yeah, solid run out the gut. Put 3 moves on guys to get past him.
Yeah. The thing that I like to talk about there is the patience. I'm very, very, very impressed with his patience there. He let his guard pull. He sealed off the linebacker. Easy one cut, and the dude's moving. It's a beautiful play here, and I love the fact that we're able to watch this in real time. Breaks a tackle to the outside, and he hits somebody he jumps over a defender. It's beautiful. So next player we're going to talk about, Ollie Gordon II.
Whew.
Absolute stud of a player. Ryan, thoughts on Ollie Gordon?
That man, first of all, he's an absolute animal. Out of the 4 guys we're talking about tonight, I think he's definitely the one that has the most, the highest chance to be a sheer workhorse back in the league. Coming in at 6'2", 216, he's definitely got the size to get that done. Didn't really do much his freshman year, but sophomore year comes into the scene, absolutely explodes, becomes the focal point of Oklahoma State's offense. You're talking 285 carries and over 1,700 yards and 21 scores on over 6 yards per carry. That's just absolute monstrosity numbers. On top of that, I guess it comes baked in the 1,700 yards, but led the FBS, the whole FBS, every team in 20-yard runs, in 30-yard runs, and in 40-yard runs. If that man beats the line of scrimmage, he's gone.
So would you think I was a liar if I told you that all of his production came in his final 11 games last year? He only received 19 total carries in his first 3 games with Oklahoma State last year.
God.
After week 3, Ollie Gordon averaged 150 rushing yards a game.
Monster. He was given the
That's pretty
opportunity.
fucking impressive.
Definitely, literally ran with it.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
On top of the fact he was second in the nation last year in yards after contact with 1,056. Lastly, the one thing we like to talk about is he was a monster in the receiving game. May not sound like a whole lot, but he had 330 receiving yards, which was third by a Power 5 running back.
Yep.
Ollie Gordon has a complete profile. Again, I bring up some of the facts that he is a better pass blocker than Quinshawn Jukins, but he also lacks that top end speed. Again, I anticipate him to run in the lower 4.4s. I'm not saying 4.5, but in the lower 4.4s. He doesn't have that top end speed like some of the running backs we're going to talk about tonight as well. But we're nitpicking here, guys. We are nitpicking. Both these running backs are 6 foot, 220 pounds of absolute specimen and beasts. I don't know how many. I don't think many of these running backs are going to go first round. We've seen a couple of running backs in the first round.
Yeah.
We've seen Clyde Edwards-Helaire, we've seen Bijan, we've seen Jahmyr Gibbs. There's been 5 running backs since 2020 to go first round. I expect one of them to. Not sure who it's going to be, but these guys are monsters. Absolute monsters. So let's pull up some tape here.
See if we can get smoother this time. Let's go, big boy.
And just watch Ollie Gordon.
It'll be interesting to see if any of these running backs go first round. Also, just while we're pulling this up, no love for Shedeur or Carson Beck at all.
Oh, I love Shedeur and Carson Beck. I don't mind them. I just don't know who it's going to be.
Not first round? You know something. You know, come time, those guys are both going to be talking the first round.
Sanders cuts it down. It's Gordon. Oh boy, put him in the spin cycle and a first down. Oh.
So very fluent runner. Monster of an athlete. Not many running backs can stop where they are on the sideline and absolutely hit this monster of a spin here. It's absolutely beautiful. I got one more tape for you guys to see. Let me pull it up. As soon as it gives me the option to.
He's been there
That's just one cut,
this season.
Beautiful.
Gordon again makes a man miss. And look out! Ollie Gordon again off to the races for a touchdown.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think he was touched on the jump cut. I really don't. Touched.
So I'm saying, bro, if he hits the hole, he's out of there, dude.
Right, but you can see the lack of top end speed. You really, really can. I mean, that's just me. It stands out. I can't say it doesn't, but at the end of the day, he scored.
Yeah,
great.
It's true.
So we got 2 more running backs to talk about tonight, and this probably being my favorite in certain aspects.
Let's hear it.
He's not a Power 5 running back. He plays at Boise State, plays on the coolest field in the NCAA. Mr. Ashton Genie. Ashton Genie reminds me a lot of Kareem Hunt.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you, man. I think his profile stands out as one of the biggest buys when it comes to dynasty running backs and deputy running backs in certain aspects. So here we go. We got some more love.
Ashton Genty, baby.
Ashton Genie. So I just want to say a lot of his profile I'm going to talk about it looks really good. His sophomore year was a monster year. He had 14 rushing touchdowns his sophomore year. He had almost 600 receiving yards his sophomore year, over 1,370 rushing yards. Since 2022, Ashton Genie is almost at 2,200 rushing yards and 21 rushing touchdowns. He's been a monster for Boise State, absolute monster. 724 receiving yards. We're talking about almost 3,000 scrimmage yards in 2 years for a college running back.
I'll say those numbers are a little bit lopsided, Steve. Let's be honest. He got 43 for 569 last year. I think that's the thing you highlight here, not the freshman 14 for 155. That's great, but you see the volume that he can get at the sophomore year.
Sure. But remember, he's a part-time running back.
Yeah.
Part-time running back his freshman year, still averaged over 6 yards per carry, well over that mark this year. Led all FBS freshmen with almost a 90 PFF rushing grade. Led the whole country last year with almost a 95 PFF running grade. He's the only running back to grade out over 90 as a PFF rusher and receiver in 2023. And he was third in the nation last year in forced missed tackles at 82.
82. Yeah.
82 forced missed tackles in one season. One.
Crazy.
And on top of that,
I mean,
in 2023, he leads the running back class in receiving yards.
Yep. That's what I was just about to say. I think his whole upside is like you kind of look at like a Jahmyr Gibbs type prospect, to where I think he's going to come in as valued as both. Like you said, he's efficient on both ends. That was a huge part of my notes too. The PFF grade thing really stood out, obviously, to both of us. If you can offer both ends, I mean, why is he not, if he has a great season, pushed in the top 3 running backs?
He should be.
Yeah.
So, again, you say undersized. I don't see him as undersized. He's about 5'9", 215. Height doesn't bother me.
Short for me, that's all.
He comes in the prototypical height, weight, what you want to see. A lot of running back enthusiasts are going to talk about his BMI percentage. That will be talked about later on. But what I'm looking at, he's going to run a low 4.40. He's one of the best athletes that we're talking about tonight. As an overall athlete, he's a better athlete than Quinshawn and Ollie Gordon are.
True.
Stands out. He has the ability to work inside between the tackles. He works in between the tackles. He averages over 7 yards per carry inside and averages over 7.5 yards per carry outside. That shit is wild. That's wild. Wild. You wanted to talk about no vision Jalen Wright averaging over 7 yards per carry on the outside. He does the same thing. It's beautiful. His vision it's beautiful. Beautiful. I love the way he runs. He runs tough. He runs with finesse. He has the ability to beat you with the strength, to keep the legs churning. He has a great motor, great contact balance. And he has the ability to beat you with one juke move, and he's gone. Yep. He's gone. I love it.
Yeah. This isn't really related to Ashton, but we've talked about it a lot tonight of these guys being in the 4.4 range. All 3 of them are probably in the 4.4. Does that concern you at all? Or is it something we're looking at they could just push past?
No, their profile stands out. It all has elite traits that stand out. He's a low 4.4 guy. He might surprise me and be a high 4.39. He might be. He's definitely the best athlete that we're going to talk about tonight outside of these running backs that we're discussing tonight. But I don't think that's something to hinder yourself on.
Right. Yeah.
I know we saw Saquon when he came into the league. He was under 4.4. I know we saw JT come under 4.4. Bijan did not come under 4.4. There's running backs that we've talked about as elite molds to not go under 4.4. I know Brees did it. I know Gibbs did it, but Gibbs also did it at 195 pounds. The 40 isn't the end all be all to these running backs.
I mean, he's a unicorn. Look at Kyron Williams. Yeah, like a 4.7.
yeah, but we're on a whole nother spectrum of running backs.
I know. I'm just saying. 40 times isn't end all be all.
No.
Yeah.
There's nothing about this profile that stands out to me as a red flag. Actually, Genie is the best pass blocking running back that we're going to talk about tonight as well. That stands out. He will be on the field for all 3 downs. He will earn a crucial role to whatever backfield he goes to. He is a true 3-down workhorse. He is my favorite running back that we are going to discuss tonight outside of the big 2. Honestly, he might push Ollie Gordon for the running back 2 spot for me.
I was going to say he could. He's got to have a big season and then test well to jump Ollie, because I think Ollie's a perceived workhorse back, which I think is what everybody chases in fantasy football.
I think all 3 of these guys 4 of these guys we're going to discuss tonight are. But let's see a little clip here from Ash and Genie. Just watch this run. Watch this man work. I don't know what's going on with this clip.
Having technical issues again.
I'm going to run it one more time. Just see if it plays like this.
I got you. Do your thing, brother. Only 115 people watching.
This class, it just won't play. Sometimes, man, these streams are weird. But let's do this. Let's try it.
One time for the one time, boys. Oop.
Let me bring it up. And let's restart.
Oh, this is a clip that I love too.
Yeah, I'm about to restart it.
Yeah. Whoop.
He just bounces outside.
Yep.
It's just crazy, man. Look at
bounces outside on one defender and then bounces back in on the next.
But what I also love about that clip is that he knew where his blockers were set to the outside by the boundaries. Right. He saw his defender pressing into his blockers and the other defenders. He cuts back and then works back to the middle of the field and then breaks another tackle. It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, dude's a dog. Nothing bad about it. We're ready to get into the last player of the night.
Yeah. I think this running back has a wide range of outcomes when it comes to this due to the fact that UNC has lost a lot of pieces on the offensive side of the ball. But his sophomore tape just stands out. It just stands out. I know we're talking about the ACC here, but Omarion Hampton is a running back that really caught my eye in 2023.
Yep.
I really will say that his freshman season really had no impact to what I was watching. You could see some flashes here and there in sparing time and sparing moments. But as a true sophomore, comes out with over 1,500 rushing yards and 15 rushing touchdowns. He leads the nation with yards after contact with 1,072. He even had some versatility. It was only 29 catches, but he still showed the ability to catch the ball. 29 catches and over 222 receiving yards.
Yeah.
What impressed me the most was all this production came with an offensive line that graded outside the top 100 in PFF run blocking win rate. He had a truly bad offensive line. It showed on tape every single day. And he came and he worked and he looked past his situation and he balled out.
Yeah, that was the big note for me. I mean, it kind of came baked in the first game of over 1,000 yards after contact. I mean, that shouldn't be a thing. You only rushed 1,500. 2/3 of the yard shouldn't have to come from after contact. I mean, that's absolutely insane. But what I think stands out for him the most is the inside rushing attempts that he gets are his bread and butter. That's where he exceeds the best. You find that hole, and once he breaks out, he's gone. He's got to work on his patience behind the line of scrimmage a little bit. But I think it's something with given the vision that he has that he can work out as time goes on. And you mentioned it before. He's definitely a pass catcher. I mean, 29 doesn't sound like a lot, but you got to remember college is a whole different ball game. So 29's a pretty good amount. He's got great hands, but I'll say his timing and his route running, as far as receiving goes, definitely need work for sure coming to the next level. but at least he has the ability to catch the ball.
Yeah, so the one thing that stood out to me on tape that I think it has to be cleaned up was last year he fumbled the ball 4 times. He put the ball on the carpet 4 times. That's a huge outlier to me when I'm looking at my running backs. Yeah, you can have all the contact balance, the strength, the burst, the speed, the athleticism in the world. He also is going to test really well. I do believe that he will test better than Javonte Williams did out of UNC, and we all know before the ACL injury how special Javonte Williams was. Yep. I do believe that he's going to test better at the combine. I do believe that he has that same kind of strength and contact balance as Javonte Williams did. I do compare them in a lot of aspects. But the one thing Javonte didn't do at UNC was put the ball on the carpet.
Yeah.
And Omarion Hampton did that 4 times last year, and that is a concern to me that we have to clean up. So that's something that I have a mental note on going into 2024. Again, this team here has the biggest range of outcomes due to the fact that there is no longer no Drake May and a lot of offensive pieces on the side of the ball that we're missing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to expect in certain aspects from Omarion Hampton with UNC's offense taking a step back. But from what I saw his sophomore campaign, one of the best runners in between the tackles, just pure vision, pure contact balance, pure strength, just a nice blend and mixed with that speed. He is also projected to be a 4.4 guy. And I love the overall compliment. I do. I love the overall compliment as a running back. He's a standout running back. Tonight, I have an honorable mention. We could have talked about Jaden Ott. I have these two very closely together. But
you got an answer after this, big dog. Don't you worry about it.
I know, but what I'm saying is I like what I see from Omarion Hampton. I'm a big fan of this kid, and I do believe that he is going to be a productive 3-down workhorse back.
It would be interesting. You mentioned it before, but I'd be interested how he performs this year with no Drake May and maybe a worse offensive line. So we'll see what comes of him this year. Definitely something to note coming into the next offseason.
Right.
But I like what I see.
Yeah. So again, remember, do not judge him solely based off the 2024 tape. The 2023 tape does stand out as a huge, huge positive in his tape and his workload and his overall viewpoint of how you should have on him. So I have one tape here. Again, this is a mixed review tape for me because he does fumble the ball here, but just watch this. Just watch this. It is beautiful.
Yeah, I saw this. He would show one of his 4 fumbles, but at least you guys give him the one of his fumbles turned into a pretty awesome play. If we ever get it going.
Whoops! I forgot to hit share stream. I was watching it the whole time. My fault.
Good, brother.
It's just beautiful the way he does that. He broke through 2 tacklers, cuts back to the outside here. And then, of course, Nate Wiggins, he puts the ball on the carpet. But, hey, talking about a DB that went in the first round, hey, Nate Wiggins was a special player. Cool, whatever. But
that's really well, by the way.
Yeah, he did. Either way, so these are the 4 running backs that we really thought we should start off on our viewpoint. I do believe that the day they are drafted, we are going to be talking about them all as top 15 dynasty running back pieces.
Yep.
3 of them, I can already tell you I'm willing to put in my top 10.
So, wild statement.
3 of them are going to my top 10.
I can confidently say 1, and then maybe the other guys could be top 15. For now. Now. I think it's fair, considering they're sophomores.
From the minute they're drafted, I can put 3 of these guys solely in my top 10.
Yeah, I say that, but we just talked about having only, 6 guys we feel comfortable owning. So,
exactly.
I guess it is kind of realistic. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I think this class is just I think this running back landscape is an absolute mess. I think this class is really special. There's more guys. Like I said, we're going to talk about in the next podcast. Honorable mention, like I said, I was very tight between Omarion Hampton and Jaden Ott out of California. I went with Omarion, but I do believe him and Jaden Ott are neck and neck when it comes to overall ranking and productivity.
Yeah.
So he will be someone that we cover on our next podcast. But I believe this was just something that had to get talked about. It had to. the wide receivers, the tight ends, the quarterbacks, they're all in this beautiful
Good
bubble.
state. Yeah.
They're in good state. They're in this bubble of just positivity and productiveness. But the running backs, my favorite position, suck.
It's falling, man. It's all
terrible.
crumbling down.
So we've been talking about this for weeks now. This was a special podcast series that we're working on. You're not going to get a whole lot of tape breakdown for the 2025 wide receivers. That will come later on. But this I felt like needed to be talked about just due to the fact that you need to go acquire 2025 first if you don't have them. And if you do, hold them. Hold them near and dear.
Hold them, and go get them. Big class.
Ryan, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, for those that tuned in tonight, as usual, we appreciate you so much. If you're joining in late, all this is going to be up on the YouTube probably sometime tomorrow. Keep an eye out for that at DFF YouTube. That being said, that's about all I got. I'm choking the rest. Choking on my words over here.
Yeah, I will say thank you for hanging in there for the technical difficulty. I did not expect our podcast to crash. It took us just a few minutes to get back up, but we appreciate the patience. As always, if you like the content tonight, like, comment, most importantly, subscribe. We appreciate the new subscribers that just came into the YouTube channel. Like I said, best video we've had so far and views-wise, so thank you very much for that. We appreciate the continued support, guys. We really, really do.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep on pushing. We're in the dead zone of Dynasty. Everybody's probably getting ready for Scott Fish and the Warrior Bowl and stuff like that, but Dynasty never dies, baby. Dynasty never dies. And on that note, remember one thing, always be building, and we are out.